Hello, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time, we watched Rin sleep. She was very tired. She had a very stressful day. The time before, she's preparing to cancel being at school and work on being in the art gallery. It's very stressful and made her cry in her sleep. Or at least that's what I think. There was no confirmation to that one way or the other. Cool. Things you can't give up. The next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me, caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to see Rin whenever I want anymore. Aw. Miss friend. Or girlfriend or whatever. I don't know. I don't think they're official. There's just an unspoken attraction. This hollow feeling's a little bit disconcerting, but I make it to the afternoon all the same. My last class, in a word, terrible. It's not that the lesson is that bad, it is, however, boring. And it's so hot in the classroom that I feel like I'm melting. The air conditioning is either... Where is it? Is either broken or turned off, so the windows are open. It makes no difference since the air outside is completely still. Only the chirping of cicadas carries inside. The sweltering heat permeates the room. Students and teachers alike are in an almost delirious state. I just want to stand up and walk out of here without caring what the teacher or anyone else says. I can't see. I'm not the only one with I can see I'm not the only one with these thoughts too. Next to me, Misha is shamelessly holding her skirt up a bit and fanning air in with her notebook. I mean, she got booty sweat. She's hot. I don't blame her. Only Shizune seems to be as cool as always, sitting with her back perfectly straight, arms folded on her chest, her eyes fixed on the equations scrawled on the blackboard. I keep shooting yearning glances at my watch, but it doesn't help the time go by any faster. It's funny, I remember how badly I wanted to get out of the hospital and go back to school. Now all I can think of is the upcoming summer vacation and freedom from classes and homework. Perhaps it's human nature to think only of the situation at hand. Also, it's hot as balls in here, so you probably want to leave. Finally, the bell rings. Relieved, my classmates and I burst into the hallway, already crowded by students from our neighboring classes. Ugh. Are all of the air conditioners broken? That means everybody's just one big, hot, sweaty mess. I spot Emmy's diminutive figure nearby and walk up to her. Hey there. She smiles sweetly, clearly happy to see me. Isao, what's up? Is your classroom super hot too? Yeah, it is. I thought I was going to melt in there. Nothing else is really happening though, feeling a bit weird now that Rin's on her great adventure or whatever you want to call it. Emmy's face cracks in a wider smile and she jumps up and down enthusiastically. Isn't it great? I'm so happy for her. I bet everyone will like her paintings and she'll sell a lot of them and make piles of money. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out great. I'm totally sulking at her though. She huffs angrily and places her hands firmly on her hips, even letting a little anger seep into her voice. It doesn't quite have the impact she's probably hoping for, but I say nothing. Why's that? She said that she doesn't want me to go see her. Oh yeah, she mentioned that. I guess she prefers to not be distracted. I can understand that. I don't think I'm that much of a distraction. Besides, I'm sure she'll forget about sleeping and eating properly if someone's not there telling her to do it. That's probably true. Sometimes she's like that. She gets completely fixated on whatever and drops everything else. It really makes me worried, you know? Is she going to be alright? Such friendship. I wonder if she thinks I'm annoying. I'm pretty sure that's not the case at all. Emmy shakes her head, looking amused. I'm not sure if she's joking or not. She has these weird ideas about a lot of stuff. Things just make sense to her in a totally different way than they do to me. I can't even remember all the weird stuff she's talked about all over all this time. I don't think Rin does either, really. She's the type who would forget her own head if it wasn't attached to her shoulders. That's why I just can't leave her alone. Is that weird? She leans against the wall, managing to look distraught, yet still cheerful as always. I get a strange feeling about it, as though I were talking to two people at the same time. How would I know? Everyone's weird in some way, but if that's yours, it's a very nice way. At least I can understand what you're talking about, unlike Rin. Don't gotta roast her, she's not even here. Most of the time I have no idea what's going on inside her head either. Emmy giggles, nodding in agreement. I think it's okay, even if you don't understand her. That's how she usually is. Emmy stands up straighter, brushing the hem of her skirt and straightening the waistline. She laughs awkwardly. Wow, we ended up talking pretty seriously. What's up with you, Sao? Why'd you bring this up? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get into this sort of discussion either. I don't know, I've had this weird feeling lately about Rin. I don't know why. I feel a bit guilty bringing up something like this for no reason except my own anxiety. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Suddenly, Emmy clutches my wrist and twists it so she can see what time it is from my watch. Oh damn, this late already? I should really go. There's a meeting with the rest of the track team at the field. It's not going to be fun in this heat. We're going to sweat like pigs, but I promise I'd be there. Bye-bye! She skips downstairs, leaving me wondering if what I said, or what Rin said rather, hurt her or not. Maybe what Emmy herself said hurt her the most. Come to that. So in the end, even the person closest to Rin is just as far apart from her as everyone else. I wonder if Rin herself ever feels that distance. I felt like I was drifting away from the world too during my hospitalization. I felt anxious and depressed, and even now, I sometimes still do, but I fight against it with all I've got. If Rin has to be on that side of the divide for her whole life, I can't imagine how she could not be lonely, but perhaps she's truly different. She said she was lonely. She said her only friends were her paints and stuff, and that no one understands her, and it makes her feel like she's just in the ocean with a bunch of jellyfish, and she can't understand them, and they can't understand her. I refuse to belong to that other place, but maybe she's found comfort there. Maybe she's coped. As far as I walk through the hall that afternoon, I glance at my watch. It's almost 4:30. I would normally have a club meeting to attend, but I don't feel like going to the art club at all, so I start heading the opposite way. It feels like a poorly chosen decision. I just know that if I skip club once, I'm going to skip it again and again. This is probably it for me, and the art club. It's been bubbling beneath the surface for a while now, though. I guess I'll formally quit later. I keep watching the bland linoleum floor while I walk without a direction. This leads me, perhaps unconsciously, to the school library. It's almost empty and completely quiet. A few studious first years are sitting at the tables, joining efforts to get homework done before dinner time. Yuko is hard at work today. She's methodically going through a towering stack of books sitting on her desk, checking them one by one, then placing them onto a cart beside her. I greet her as I stop by. Good afternoon. I haven't seen you here for a while. Did you read all the books already? She seems to be in a good mood. Huh, I don't think so. I joined the art club, so I've been passing the time there instead of working my way through your collection. I think I'm going to quit though, so I guess you'll be seeing more of me again from now on. You didn't like the club? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have much of a talent for art, but I didn't hate doing it either. I guess it just feels a bit pointless. I can't really see any purpose in going. The art teacher scares me a little. Really? He seems like a really nice guy, maybe a bit over the top sometimes. Yuko makes a face I can't read, but doesn't say anything further. How are you doing? Something good happened to me today. I didn't flunk my university course. Well, that's great, isn't it? Yes, without the credit I might have been kicked out, and then I'd have a lot of explaining to do with my family. I'm really lucky. I think I'm going to buy pudding today to celebrate. Being a university student sounds hard. I'm surprised you're working 2 jobs while still attending. My part-time work really makes it hard to keep up with my studies, and I get yelled at by my student counselor. And then if I stay up late studying, I get sleepy at work and my boss yells at me. But if I quit my jobs, I'll starve. It's like I just can't win. I wonder why it's like that. I don't really know what to say. Yuko isn't really complaining to get empathy out of a guy a lot younger than her. She's basically just talking about the facts of her everyday life. True. It makes me feel even more pity for her somehow. Oof. Wow, must be hard for you. I don't know. It's been like this for so long that I've forgotten what it's like to have a normal life, or maybe this already is a normal life for my age. Is this normal? Is it right? It is, right? It must be. Why is being normal so depressing? I couldn't say. Not like being abnormal is much different, though. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Sorry. I just got carried away. It's fine. It was a joke, sort of. Anyway, you seem to be doing just fine now. Yes, when I feel really down, I take a step back and make a cup of tea. When I've drunk the tea, I give my mood a kick in the butt, like wham! And then I tell myself, now you're going to get this done. Now you're going to do this thing, Yuko. And then I go and get it done. That's why I'm working so hard now. She clenches her fist dramatically at the high point of her spirited explanation. It's a bit unclear what she actually means, but it's nice that she's so motivated. Leaving Yuko alone with her work, I head to the back of the library where the novels are. I briefly consider reading something non-fiction for a change, maybe a biography perhaps, but in the end, I decide against it, and I get a manga. My fingers trace the spines along the rows upon rows of novels. They occasionally pull out a random book so I could read the back and maybe sample the first 2 or 3 pages. Nothing really catches my interest, so I end up picking up a book I'd already read back in March or so at the hospital. I recall liking it. I sit down on one of the beanbag chairs and quickly get sucked into the book, turning pages at a rapid pace. I'm probably not the fastest reader around, but pretty fast all the same. Reading quickly makes me feel oddly satisfied. Focusing on reading is something I'm pretty good at, too. I can cram study pretty efficiently as well, as long as I stay motivated. It's the secret of my good grades. Well, I'm pretty diligent in class, too. That's what Ren and I have in common. She can really focus on painting if she wants to. I wonder what she's doing now. Probably hard at work painting. You can go visit her. This distance that suddenly grew between us irritates me. I thought we were getting closer, but now that feeling's been lost. I'm a bit worried about her, too. I can't make sense of my own thoughts. I can't leave her alone either. I want to be with her more. I want to be with her more. Will she like that? That's what I want to choose. 'Cause if I say that I can't leave her alone, then that makes it sound like I'm not being true to my feelings. I want to be with her more. Without Ren, I don't really have anyone else at school that I actually talk to. Not like we actually talk very much anyway, but at least we hang out. I really don't want to lose that. If I want to keep what I have with Ren going, I have to get involved with making this exhibition happen, right at her side. Yeah! Help Ren! I realize I've been sitting on the same page for a while now. It's because you were thinking. I turn my gaze back to the book I'm reading. The jungle of glyphs has somehow turned into a near incomprehensible cipher. I stare hard at it, expecting the text to start making sense to me. No pattern emerges, nothing that could take me any further than I am. Dazed, I close the book, put it back on the shelf, then sit back down and think honestly and hard about what I really want. Yeah, think about your feelings, Hisao. These chapters are a lot shorter than I think they're gonna be. I'll do another one. The last one was way super short. I could have done this one and the last one. Where am I? I'm on a bus. The next day I take the bus into the city. It goes twice an hour starting in the morning, passing by the front gate of Yamaku at 20 minutes past and 10 to the hour. That was a long way to say what time it was. The ride takes considerably longer than one Nomiya gave us in his car. I slowly read a book as the bus makes its rounds through the suburbs, pausing at almost every stop to pick up someone or let them out. Eventually we make it to the last stop in the city center. The city is fair-sized, but not too large, and seems too quiet. Nevertheless, I enjoy the atmosphere. Despite being slightly directionally challenged, I find my way from the bus station to the gallery without too much effort, and as soon as I find myself staring at the big letters saying 22nd corner. Inside the gallery owner is intently studying a large painting hanging on the wall, a portrait of an old man. Is it Nomiya? Good afternoon. She turns around to look at me, and a smile of recognition spreads on her lips. Oh, aren't you the young man from the other day? Shinichi's student? Hisao, was it? That's right. Good afternoon, Mrs. Sayonji. Please, just sigh. I don't want to feel any older than I am. You know, I'm so glad that even young people show interest in art nowadays. It's so refreshing. What brings you here? Surely you aren't just on a courtesy visit all the way from your school. I actually came for Rin. I was hoping to see how she's doing. Oh, is that right? Well then you need to step back outside. You see... Oh, I thought she was about to be like, fuck off. I was like, damn. I'm just coming to see my friend. I'm just a little high schooler. You ain't gotta be mean to me. You see, the atelier is actually at the next door on the right down the street, and up the stairwell. Just climb the stairs to the top floor. There's only one door there. You can't miss it. I give Sai my thanks, exit the gallery, and locate the door she was talking about. It leads to a dark stairwell, which reminds me of the stairs leading to the roof of the school building. Yes, they do. The stairs are steep, and even though it's only 5 floors, my breathing gets heavy before I reach the top. Well, you haven't been exercising, and you have a heart condition, and you've been in the hospital for a couple months, so... yeah. I would imagine you would have a little bit of trouble with stairs. An unassuming wooden door waits for me there. It's unlocked, so I knock and enter. I'm not gonna wait for a response, just gonna go right in. The atelier is really just one big room, with a ceiling lower at one end than the other because the roof of the building is gabled. There's a huge skylight in the ceiling, and that acts as the main source of light for the room, bringing in sunlight that reflects off the white painted walls. I suppose it's good to use natural light for art. Depends. Sometimes it can mess up the colors and stuff. There isn't much of a way of interior decoration, no surprise, since the room seems to have been used as a storage for a while. All kinds of boxes and office furniture are scattered around the place. The room is dusty since it's not been in use for a while. I can see that someone has made some effort to clean up a little, but it's far from immaculate. Ah, she's got little scrubs on. Little overalls. Rin stands in the middle of the room with her back to me, staring at a half-painted canvas placed on an easel. Not working on it, just staring, unmoving. And she's got a stink. She wears what must be second or third hand denim overalls over the standard school uniform shirt, much like the one I'm wearing. They look pretty worn and are covered in paint spatters. From the way they seem to be loose or tight in places, I'm guessing that they weren't originally Rin's. Hi. Hello. Rin doesn't judge my showing up as worthy of turning around, saying maybe something more than just a mechanical reply to my greeting, smiling, anything. She keeps on doing whatever it is she's doing, probably some weird creative thing inside her head. Perhaps I should have expected as much. Still, I make another attempt at conversation. This is a pretty cool place. Big, too. It is. Sai said I can use this as much as I like. I even have my own key. So how's the work going? She doesn't answer for a while. I begin to wonder if she's already forgotten the question. As a cloud drifts over the building, shadowing the light pouring in from the skylight, and the change in Ren's surroundings seems to wake her up. I don't know. It's like a huge ball. I don't really know which side is the right one. It's really huge. It's the hugest thing ever. Like a mountain growing inside of me. Like I swallowed a mountain whole. It's going to be hard, I think. Really, very hard. I try to listen for undercurrents of stress or uncertainty in her voice, but I don't pick up anything like that. Why are you here? Her tone is not as unkind as the directness of the question would make it seem. Well, you said it'd be fine if I came to visit, so here I am. I guess it's not for any real reason, but I thought you might like company or assistance or maybe some hisao. Can you be quiet for about 15 minutes? Maybe 10 is enough. 5 is definitely not. You can talk afterwards. There you go. Her tone is sharp, nothing like I've ever heard from her before. There's no command, no annoyance, no anger, but her voice pierces me all the same. All right? With the silence that falls, anxiety creeps back into my heart. I wonder if it was a mistake to come here. Murmurs of traffic filter in from outside, and I start to feel more and more uncomfortable. All my thoughts keep finding themselves returning to certain things that have been swirling relentlessly in the back of my mind for some time now. I feel like those thoughts will surface out of the tempestuous sea of my mind, whether I want it to or not. Desperate to divert my focus, I fixate on Ren's back as my mind races. Wow. Back. I don't think I've ever studied anyone's back so intently before. Her neck hidden by copper-colored hair, which is, again, in complete disarray. That relaxed yet rigid posture reminding me that Ren's physical appearance often tends to be as awkward as her various trains of thought. Those gaunt, delicate shoulder blades visible through the thin white fabric of her shirt. It's so hot. The contours of oh, I was joking, but maybe that is where this was going. The contours of her hips curving down to her thin thighs. It pisses me off. What? What? Rarely does she ever seem to be looking at me, whether literally or figuratively. I, on the other hand, am always watching her back, both literally and figuratively. Whenever she is painting, whenever something catches her fluttery attention, whenever I don't forcefully make her listen to me, I can't reach through to her. Ren's heart is uncharted territory, dangerous waters, the blank areas of a map. The edge of the world? If I went too close, I wonder if I would fall off. What do I think of her? Sometimes she's aloof and distant and annoys me. At other times, her passion for the things she thinks worthwhile shines through and it inspires me. I can't understand her. Still, I like her and consider her my friend. I suppose part of friendship is putting up with the oddities of the people you call friends. I have to admit, there's a lot of putting up with Ren. What does she think of me? I have no idea. Last week I thought she might have liked me romantically. What with the kiss and all. It forced me to ponder my own feelings too. This week I'm utterly confused. What would she do if I told her I liked her that way? I wonder if I really do. Damn, I can't make sense of even my own thoughts anymore. It must be contagious. Even if I said a thing like that, would it matter? Nothing affects Ren. Nothing. I'm done. I find her turned around now, staring straight at me. It unnerves me. I try to remember what I were talking about before she requested a timeout. Oh, right, I just came to... I don't know. You still can't finish your sentences? It's not that. Fine. She retreats from the conversation, slipping away from me once again. She doesn't return to painting, but instead keeps looking at me with that empty poker face of hers. I wanted to talk about some stuff. I've thought a lot about things. What things? Like how awesome your back looks when you tell me to shut the fuck up for 15 minutes. Like what happened last week and so on. What happened? I get the feeling she's playing with me. Why, I have no clue. It's not a game she's playing with my head. I'm pretty sure she doesn't deliberately try to screw with people. Maybe she's trying to... Maybe she thinks about it too, and she has feelings for you, but she's also got to be really busy, so she's trying to push those feelings away so she can focus on this other thing. That's what I think. Maybe it's just my own mind playing tricks on itself. Still, Rin feels like a puzzle in the form of a girl. I feel attracted to it, compelled to solve it, the overly rational part of my brain refusing to let me give up. Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. I can't leave her alone. I never would have believed I could be this obsessive about something. Why do I hesitate so much and keep running around in circles around her? I don't have to do that. I already decided what I want to say. Rin? Saying her name with an intention like this makes my mouth dry, as if my subconscious is fighting against what I'm going to say next. I feel like I'm going to lock up any moment now. Rin looks up from her paint-covered toes and stops wriggling them, as there isn't anyone to observe them curiously now. The hard stare of her dark green eyes seems like a portent? I like you. The lack of any reaction is like a slap to the face. So, I mean, I'd like to like you as more than a friend. What is more? Ren doesn't understand. She's like, we are already friends. That's the pinnacle. That's the top. What more could you want? The slow, hesitant words coming from between her strawberry-colored lips are not the ones I was waiting for. Fun fact, if you find someone staring at your lips, it is a sign of attraction. Romantically, I guess. But not with, they want to fuck you. That's what that means. I tried to say different words, but that's what it comes down to. If you find yourself overly looking at someone's mouth, it's because you're horny. Neither of the two possible answers that I'd been expecting, actually. I feel myself blushing heavily, as is par for the course in this kind of situation. My heartbeat sounds like a percussion orchestra on drugs. Isn't that what it usually sounds like? Ren's faux innocent inquiry feels like I'm being grilled over hot coals. You know, like, romantically, and... Oh, he's so awkward. He's a baby. No. Ren turns around, giving me the cold shoulder as she returns to looking at her painting. I don't know if this is the best time for Hisao to, go on the, admitting, opening up the heart and all, maybe after the exhibition. She makes a move to pick up her brush, which lies forgotten on the floor, but decides against it at the last moment. I can't talk about that kind of thing now. So, don't talk about that kind of thing, please. We're friends, right? So you can do that. The silence those words leave behind is deafening. I want to say something, but my mouth refuses to move. There is no way I can retain my dignity. Hisao, you didn't do anything wrong. This is bad timing. It's bad timing. I know you've been having the anxieties. Maybe you should have just talked it over with, like, another friend, like Emmy or someone. Rin finally picks up the brush without giving any explanation for her behavior. Maybe there was something in her voice that gave away some emotion, but I couldn't say what. Her shoulders slump melancholically as her foot works the canvas in front of her. She won't let me see her face, and I know it. Feeling the weight of my heart grow heavier, I stand up to leave, for I can't stay here any longer today. It's like I have opened Pandora's box by stepping over some line that Rin didn't want me to cross, and she had to turn me down. I walk across the squeaky floor to the door leading to the stairwell. Rin's quiet voice stops me in my tracks as I'm about to open the door. Isao. My hand still on the brass doorknob is waiting for me to turn it or to withdraw. Yeah? Will you come tomorrow? Yeah. See, Hisao, she likes you. She's just got a lot on her little brain. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong, and even if your little heart is heavy and you feel like you're hurty, she doesn't hate you. She just can't afford. She's got a really scattery brain, and she can't exert the energy on both the task at hand and the ideas of forming romantic relationships. It's a lot, Hisao. And that's where I'm gonna end it. This time, I guess I can try and fit. It seems like they're consistently like 2 of them will fit comfortably. 2 little boo 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 boos can fit pretty comfortably in 1 little episode since they're not as long days for some reason. But yeah, that was a really I liked that a lot. That was really sweet, and I really like their route so far. They're super mature, and even though like they're clearly like in they don't fully understand romantic relationships, they're still willing to listen to each other and talk about their feelings and stuff, even if they don't fully understand their own feelings. And I appreciate that. It's really sweet and really wholesome, and I don't see it a lot in visual novels. But to be fair, I haven't read a whole lot of them, so I can't tell if this is an outlier or if I'm inexperienced. But that's where we're gonna leave the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!